So how's it going, my comic chat army? We're here today with JT MotherLovin Molloy. How you doing?
That is my what would that be? Confirmation name.
Yeah, that's what
James
it says
Thomas MotherLovin Molloy.
It's right on his license. What have you been up to since the last time we talked to you?
Not too much. Living in stuff. I'm living with my girlfriend and playing a lot of Minecraft, but also getting a lot done. I've drawn a lot of short comic stories, one for Unstable Frequencies from Kara Nicole and Alfred Trujillo, and I'm in the middle of another for Dustin Burnell for Babes, Gore, and Dinosaurs. So yeah.
Nice.
That's just outside of my own stuff, so I'm still doing all that all the time.
Okay. So when you said you moved in with your girlfriend, did y'all have separate places before this, and like this is the coming together?
Yeah, pretty much. I can't remember the last time. No, maybe I was here the last time I talked to you. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's been a year and a half. But
Yeah. It's been a while. So issue 2 come out. When is issue 3 going to Kickstarter?
Issue 3 is on Kickstarter presently. It ends in 11 days. So it started on March 30th. So I guess it'll be going till, like the end of April. So, yeah.
Okay. Issue 4 is coming out, what, 3 months after that?
Yeah, probably I want to get this one out quickly because I've got a lot of cool stuff lined up for 4. So I definitely want to do 2 this year and try and do 2 or 3 every year going forward.
How many issues do you got planned for this whole story?
Probably between 15 and 20.
You're going to wrap it all together in a trade?
Yeah, pretty much. And I also have like some old graphic novels that I used to publish through Comixology that I'm going to recollect in another graphic novel. So by the time all is said and done, it's going to be like the graphic novel trilogy and the series back to back, like right next to each other. You can put it on your bookshelf, read the whole thing through as one complete saga, You're
going to have like spine art that connects?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was totally thinking of that. Having like the logo, like the S logo, the blue logo.
Yeah, that would be badass. I love it when the spines connect. Scout Comics put out a bunch of trades, and all of them, like the numbers on the bottom, are all in sequence, but it's like 1 or 2 that's just like an inch or 2 above all of them, so it's not flush straight across.
Yeah,
and it drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Conventions, where are you going to be at?
I think I'm going to Nashville in like June or something. Otherwise, I'm kind of playing it by ear. Just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I did Cincinnati last year. I'll probably do it again this year. I've got I'm going to try and get into C2E2 again. Henri Kottman helped me out with that last December, which was really cool. Shout out to him. And yeah, so just kind of go where I please.
Wasn't you going to turn this into a movie or a short film?
Yeah, I did turn it into a short film. It's up on kickarock.com, or if you just search on YouTube, Sapphirespectre, it'll be one of the first things to pop up. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to do a part 2?
Yeah, I kind of want to do it again. That would be really neat. I'd have to kind of figure it out, though, because that was pretty time-consuming, because I did all the effects on that, and it took 3 months to do 8 minutes of special effects.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess that's why they have giant teams of people doing this in movies.
Wow, 8 months for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
No, 3 months for 8 minutes.
3 months for 8 minutes, yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. You should get like Kara Nicole to do it since you did the cosplay.
Yeah, right. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Or get her to make like a guest appearance. That'd be awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, there's tons of stuff I can do with it.
Have you tried kickstarting it to do the
second
part?
Do like a full film? No. I don't know. That might be something down the line that I can think about, but yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty laser focused on the comic right now.
All right. How many issues do you have completed right now?
What's funny is I actually was gonna do an issue 2 as a certain story, but I thought of the Chibi thing and I swapped it out for issue 2, and then I moved up Violet Void to issue 3, and now that's going to be a 2-parter into issue 4. So the the one I have done is actually backed up to like 5 now.
Nice.
So I've got like 1.5 stories already penciled, not colored. But yeah, so I guess I have like up to 6 kind of done. But there's a lot of 4 I still need to do. But that's gonna be like very mixed media. Like it's gonna be kind of a head trip. Like I'm gonna like do like crayon drawings for one panel and then like a photo for the next, you know what I mean? And like just it's gonna be like she's in a dimension where not everything, it's all helter skelter, you know? So
Okay.
I'm gonna do very weird while she's there. But when we go back into the real world where the rest of the story is happening, it's gonna look like my traditional art, you know what I mean?
Sweet. Are you gonna have any help with it, or are you just doing it all yourself again?
All myself, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're a one-man team.
Yep. I kind of like it that way.
Yeah, it's probably easier. Consultation.
My
Are you
girlfriend,
open?
my girlfriend edits it though, because she's an English paper editor. Like that's what she did for a job for years. So she like actually can edit my comic. She's like, hey, that's a typo. That's a typo. That comma sucks. No, put this there. You know what I mean? I have her proofread it when I'm done.
Is she credited in the comics?
Oh God, I hope she doesn't watch this.
Yeah.
Put edited by Laura now. I'm giving her a plotting credit on the backup story for issue 3 actually, because she and I sat around and discussed it, and she told me some plot holes in what I was doing, and I was like, yeah, you know what, you're right. And I'm like, baby, I'm gonna give you her plotting credit on this next one.
Nice. Let's see. What advice would you give to people to run a successful Kickstarter? I don't think I've asked you that before.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I always say I waited in the shadows for several years until I knew I was like good enough to really kind of break into the scene, you know. So don't jump the gun. If anyone's watching this that's like thinking of doing it, don't like do it prematurely. Like really build up what you want to get going, get your whole story done, see if people like it, like stuff like that, like friends and family and whatever. And definitely network. I know that's like a gross word to some people, but it doesn't have to be. You know, like I'm talking to you right now, and we talk on Messenger and stuff sometimes, and it's like, hey, you're fucking cool. Like I'd get a beer with you. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like when you're networking with people and you talk to people, you'll get inspired by them. You'll get advice from them. They'll probably help you out in ways you won't even know. You can exchange like cover art. You know what I mean? Like I did that with like Alfred Trujillo before, and some other people, Wendy Steinshainer, and yeah. So it's like you can really build up like a scene and a friendship with a lot of people. You know, so just be cool, be your best self, and like really get almost, I don't want to say like an army, like, you know what I mean? Just like a posse or something, you know, that you can kind of work off of and work off each other and stuff like that. And then it ends up really helping in the end, because then their reach is your reach. And, you know, like then you make some really great friends out of it too, you know? So networking doesn't have to be a dirty word. It doesn't have to be like fuck capitalism, you know, that kind of thing. Kind of, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't want to play the fake game or something. It's like it doesn't have to be fake, dude. Like, just stay within your comfort range and talk to the kind of people that you want to talk to and stuff like that, you know. So,
have you had a crazy fan experience yet?
I don't know. I don't know about crazy. I mean, I've had a couple of dedicated ones where I'm like, man, like shout out to Jason Johnson. He's bought a lot of my original art from the covers for the Sapphirespectre, and he lives in New Orleans, and he even sent me Cafe Du Monde coffee, like from like if anybody knows that place in the French Quarter. It's awesome. It's a cool place with beignets and all that stuff. I've been there back in 2005 before Katrina hit, and yeah, he sent me a bunch of coffee from there, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, so people are willing to like, you know, like spend money on your stuff, and sometimes like you get imposter syndrome and you're like, why? You know what I mean? You're like, who am I? I'm just some jerk, But
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, they're helping you out, and you gotta like like repay the favor. Like, hey, if they buy 2 things or something, like you gotta hook them up. Like, be like, all right, I'll give you like this rare cover, or I'll do a free sketch drawing for you or something. You know what I mean? Like, make it worth their while. Like when somebody starts really getting invested in what you do.
Okay. Are you gonna put them in the comic anywhere?
Maybe, yeah, like in the background or something. I'm always hitting up people. I could put you in there too. Do you want to be in the Halloween party in issue 4?
I would be honored.
Sweet. All right, we'll do that.
Yeah.
You just got to tell me what you want to be dressed as. In this newest issue, number 3, she's at a Halloween party, and I drew a whole lot of people in there. I drew like Ashley Witter. I drew Hannah Blue. I drew Kara and Alfred. I drew Morgan Bailey. Tons and tons of people. December Lace, Lisa Malone, my manager, and just tons of people. And I asked them, what do you want to be drawn as? Courtney Rose. And like they just tell me, and then I just drew them in the background, So it's like I always like to pay homage to people who like work with me and stuff like that and support me, and are just general pals too. Like in the background somewhere, like it doesn't matter where or what they're doing, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, can it be anything like superhero or whatever?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
I'm not too worried about like copyright stuff. It's like, it's a costume. You know what I mean? I draw it in a way that makes it look like cheap and not like a real. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me think about it now. I'll tell you what I want to be dressed as.
All right, cool. It's still gonna be a while, so.
Let's see. Oh, someone asked me this the other day. What movie have you watched recently that almost made you cry?
That almost made me cry. I don't cry at a lot of movies, really. I know that sounds, like manly or whatever, but I don't know. What did kind of hit me though was I was watching. I had skipped out on somehow Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch, the BBC series, and my girlfriend got me totally caught up on it. And there was like a couple of cliffhangers in that series where I was like, no, what? No. I even literally turned to her and I'm like, no, babe, no, what is this? No, this can't happen.
Right.
So I definitely got emotionally invested in Sherlock. That's for sure.
When did you know you wanted to be a comic writer?
Yeah. Oh, real quick before that, Ghostbusters Afterlife. I did tear up when I saw Egon.
Yeah. That was a good movie. That was a very good movie.
Oh yeah, huge Ghostbusters fan.
Yeah, oh yeah, love Ghostbusters. When
did I know I want to be a comic writer? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
At a very young age. Like, I was born in 81, so I was a kid of the 80s, but also a kid of the 90s. Like I didn't start becoming a teenager and all that stuff until the mid 90s. So it's kind of like most of the stuff I remember is from the late 80s, early 90s of childhood. So around that time, there was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles going on, and like I was a huge fan of video games and Sonic the Hedgehog and Mega Man, and I used to make comics where Sonic and Mega Man teamed up, like against Dr. Wily and Dr. Robotnik, what I mean? And like draw entire issues and stuff like that. And I grew up on Calvin and Hobbes as well, so I was always trying to like come up with like 4-panel comics and stuff like that too. You know what I mean? Like I had somewhere in my head, I had it in my head that I was gonna be like grow up to be like the next Bill Watterson or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of kids did that read that, but yeah, it wasn't until I got heavily into superheroes and stuff like that. I had some Batman and Turtles as a kid, but comics, but I didn't like nosedive into comics until like 1995 or so with like the X-Men and Spider-Man and like the kind of mid 90s stuff that was going on, the Clone Saga and the Joe Mad and Scott Lobdell X-Men and stuff like that. So that's when I took a nosedive and I went backwards and read all the old stuff and read all the current stuff, and then like started just drawing everything I could, and yeah.
Okay. And you said you was putting out the books before Sapphirespectre. What are those again? Or can we get them before the Kickstarter?
Wait, which one now?
You said you made books before Sapphirespectre. What was the name of those?
I made one, but I'm not going to put that out there. It's called Sigma. It was called Sigma 7X. It was based off me and my friends. It was kind of a practice comic, really. You know,
okay.
It was a lot of like early 2000s bro humor. You know, I don't know.
If people started to look for it, where should they not look first?
I'll send you a PDF, man.
Like, is it on the internet? Like, is it out in the world?
It might still be on lulu.com. There was like a print on demand site. You know what I mean? This was, we're talking like over 10 years ago now. Like,
wow.
I've learned a lot about comics and indie and all that stuff since then. You know what I mean? Like, I was just a guy making comics that didn't know where to put them, you know, 10, 15 years ago. And then just in the past like 7 years, I'd say it's been like a slow learning curve into kind of breaking in, you know. So
is there anybody in the comic industry right now that you want to work with?
Oh yeah, I actually got a little wish list, like that or somebody off my wish list that's getting fulfilled, like on the next one on 4. Shout out to Nay Rufino. She's gonna probably do a cover for Sapphire for the next one. I talked to her about it, so I guess I'm kind of like breaking that a little early here, but that's okay. I've been a huge fan of hers since the Deviant Art days, like in 2009 through 11 or 12 or whatever. I used to go there a lot, and you know, it's back when she was doing a lot of coloring work for J. Scott Campbell and stuff. And then I found out through being a fan of his who she was, and then like getting a lot of Big Dog Inc. stuff, you know, what she was doing a lot for, and just following her in general, Secret Life of Crows and stuff like that. And I've just been a huge fan, and it's kind of a geek dream come true to like be running in the same circles as her, you know, like that's really cool. Okay. So I actually did talk to her, and she would be down. So might be an AI Rufino Sapphirespectre cover coming up in the future.
Nice. Dead or alive, what famous writer would you like to work with? Not just comic books, just famous writer.
Right. Man. Dead or alive? Huh. I was like Chris Yost. Guy's good.
Okay.
It's not talked about a lot, but like he's actually done like a whole lot, and really love his X-Men stuff, and he's done a lot of cartoon work and stuff like that too. Paul Dini, just a huge Paul Dini nerd, you know, and I actually want to read his book. I forgot what it was called. It was about like the time he got assaulted, and like it's called like Batman Didn't Come or Batman's Not Coming or something like that. I gotta find that book and I gotta read it because it sounded pretty horrific but interesting, you know. So, but I'm a fan of his and Batman the Animated Series and all the stuff he's written. So,
okay. I like it. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
My ultimate dream collaborator would be J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah.
I know that's like on everybody's list, but I swear I don't want to sound like a hipster. I've been a fan for so long that like it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like since like the mid 90s when Gen 13 was still a thing, you know, like and he was still on it, you know, like it's been that long. I've been a fan that long. So I don't know. Definitely the wish list.
Got one more quick question for you. If Hollywood was to pick up Sapphirespectre and turn it into a live action film, what actress would you want to play her?
I mean, she's supposed to be 23 in the comics, so it's kind of like it's like a in and out kind of thing. Because you know, like people age all the time and whatever, and it's like so somebody like at least as young as like between 20 and 30 would have to play her, I'd say. But for the longest time, and I still sometimes think of her when I draw her, it's Amanda Seyfried. She was the girl in Ted, you know, and she was in weather boobs in Mean Girls.
Yeah.
She's just got the big old eyes and the lips and everything. She's just a gorgeous woman, and she totally looks like the kind of person I draw when I draw Sylvia. So.
Okay. Thank you for taking the time to come talk with us, JT. It's always a pleasure, man.
For sure, man.
Thank you.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comic Chat Authority? Oh, come on. Subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.